Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm
Welcome our
good.
lovely co-host, Umara.
Amara Lodi, and our beautiful host today is.
Daniela Roman.
Here you go.
You're
This
like,
is
hey, something is different.
right. What's going on? Whoops.
Right? Yeah. So how are you this morning, Umara?
I'm good. I'm actually really. I was motivated, inspired by what you're doing every day in the group about the 21-day challenge.
Right. Yeah, I saw you there
Um,
this morning.
yeah, I do. I usually did my workouts in the midday or in the evening, but you
Right.
guys are really getting me out of my bed and do it. Very
Yeah.
motivational. Very motivational.
And it is best to do it, I think, in the morning because number one, it gets you moving and going and gives you that energy for the
Yeah.
day. And second, I know when I used to, work long hours or whatever, at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, I got to go to the gym or I have to do my workout. You don't really feel like it,
Oh,
and 9 times out of 10, it doesn't get done. So if you knock it out in the morning, you're done. And that doesn't mean you can't do anything extra, later in the day, but,
yeah.
the morning is best,
Yeah.
I believe.
Absolutely. For me, it was mostly because I had like a few clients in the morning, but I figured out that I can do my workout before them even. So why not?
Yeah.
Even better. Get it out of the way, like you said. Perfect.
Right. And it puts you in a better mindset too for what you're ready to do, whether it's work or like you said, you have, your clients. So
Yeah. I
yes.
would like to know, Daniela, tell us a little bit about your show that is coming up. Super excited about that.
Oh, you mean the cooking?
Yeah.
Well, I put the video out again yesterday if some of you saw it. Yeah, it's going to be live or uh, virtual or in person, in your home or mine.
Yeah.
And I'll be sharing my food safety tips, my meal plans, and my cooking. So I'm excited about that. And that's going to be also revealed this weekend down here in Atlantic City because we are having our spiritual fitness retreat. So we do still have 2 spots for tomorrow, Saturday. Sunday is pretty filled up and it's going to be great. And I kind of feel someone coming in the picture.
The retreat. I'm so jealous. I would.
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you. You
Yeah.
can still see the mirror. All right, here we go. Can you see us there? Okay.
Yes, I do. I'm so jealous of the retreat that's coming up. Really, if I could, I would trip over people and come over there. It's free.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free.
God bless you.
Right.
God
Right.
bless you. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm on the fitness ball. For those of you that are wondering what the hell is he doing, he's bouncing on the sofa
Yeah.
like baby Tomas.
Mhm.
So we just got done, and I heard you saying that you were on this morning, and we saw you.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing up. And for those of you who are challenged or stuck or want to do something different,
Mhm.
you notice the title. We're talking about like what's going on. How is your New Year's resolution? For those of you who are still calling it that, or what is your intention for 2021 when it comes to your health and fitness? Are you doing what you said you're going to do? Because most people, by the next day that they made their resolution, it's over.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah, they're done. So we decided to do two things. We had the 21 day for 21 minutes a day for 21 days spiritual fitness challenge. That was going to be a paid program.
Yeah.
But Danielle and I, in the spirit of what's going on around the globe, people with finances, we decided to give that away for free. And
Well,
many of
it
you are
is going to be paid going forward, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we wanted to honor those people who are challenged and moving forward. You're exactly right. I mean, we are with Austin Haynes, we said last night, we are a for-profit business, and so it takes money to put this production. And right now we're going to be on a show I posted the other day. We're going to be on E360 TV. That's not a free programming. So thank you. We're gonna literally you're gonna be able to watch these programs from the comfort of your own home, not just on this device. So right now you're watching us pretty much on this device or a laptop.
Yeah.
Imagine watching this content that we've been bringing, all these great interviews. Umara's in Canada. We're here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Imagine being able to watch this, and it's all going to be archived, right? So it's just like you would, when you go to Netflix and you can watch different seasons, you're going to be able to catch us just like that. This is how professional this stuff is going to be. Of course, I'm still going to be quirky Emilio, and we're going to have this dynamic relationship, but just the content, the way it's distributed, is going to be different.
Yeah.
And we have some comments. Go for it.
Yes, I have. I see some comments. Ivy joined. Thank you so much, Ivy. And Mentary also joined. And Ivy's saying, I don't get the workout or run in the morning. It doesn't happen. I think I'll get it done in the afternoon or maybe in the evening. But no, morning, it must be. And she says, I'm jelly too, Amara. It's going to be great about that retreat. I don't see the banner for the retreat, Emilio.
What's that?
It's not scrolling.
Oh, you know what? That's right.
Yeah. We want our viewers to know what's happening in 2021 in the very beginning. So tell us what's cooking in 2021.
Yes. So go ahead, babe. So there's a lot going on. But before we go into anyone out there watching this on live or the replay, I want to hear what's going on. So Ivy and everyone else there, looks like we got 4. I see 6.
Yeah, we actually have the doctor that was with Dr. Grant the other day.
Hey,
Rahman, yeah.
Doctor, hey,
Oh.
blessings. So tell us again, the doctor gave us some great stuff. So those of you, please share with us, where are you with your goals? Where are you with these things that you said you want to do? Have you stuck to them? Because most people, they're kind of out. And there's different statistics. I mean, whatever you want to believe is what's going to come into your space. Some people say like 21 days, 27 days. Most people are completely done, like with what they say they want to do. And that's why we bring you this programming. We had Dr. Rahman and we have Dr. Grant, and they blew up our Facebook page because people kept wanting to know, wow, he's retired now, the Dr. Rahman, and he talked about wonderful things. Well, what do you remember about doctors? I'm curious now. What do you remember when he was on? They said so many things.
I know they shared.
Oh yeah. I believe he said a few things around the pseudoscience of health and fitness. I love that part.
Yeah.
And
the stress. Remember, they talked about the stress.
Yes, absolutely.
The stress.
Yeah.
And they gave us the 5 M's. Remember, they gave us.
Yes.
They were talking about the M's, and movement was one of them.
Meditate.
Music.
Yeah.
Remember?
And he told about the frequency of Om. I love that.
There you go. It's coming. It's coming, everybody.
Yeah, even when you were telling in the morning about the mantra, Om is a great mantra to bring you back to the center.
Yes.
I love that part. Yeah, that was amazing. That was actually a very amazing call.
Yeah.
So I believe, it's a conception around people that things have to start on the 1st of January. But if you have missed the 1st or 2nd or 3rd, start today. I believe in starting today and then sticking to it and showing up. And that's something that I started for myself as well, to keep me accountable. And that was to go live every day, 365 days for the year, and bring one teaching from the daily teachings from the secret book. Like, just pick your choice of thing and just go and share and show up, whether it's showing up in life, whether it's showing up at the gym, whether it's showing up, waking up at a certain time, whether you're sleeping at a certain time. So adding one habit and then building up on it. That's what I learned and going to be taking forward in 2021. How about you?
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well said. And you use the word habit, right? And habits create our lives. And Danielle and I just did a co-authorship in the One Habit, which is going to be released at some point. I believe you have that book around somewhere. You always keep that book around, don't you?
I do. And I'm actually thinking of co-authorship too. Which one are you co-authoring? Tell me.
Yeah, we did the one where with Forbes Riley.
Post-COVID.
Yeah, post-COVID. With the post-COVID one. So it hasn't been released yet. We just turned in our chapter. But here's a habit. So speaking of habit, getting grounded, and we talk about fit, right? For us, fit means differently than most people. When you hear people say, how do you get fit? They talk about jumping and bouncing and doing all that stuff. But Danielle and I talk about fit. We do the F, and the F stands for
faith.
faith. And what we do is we get into a reading, we get into a mantra, we do what the doctor suggested, Dr. Vermont, and we get into that state. One of the things I do is I read from this particular book. Some of you may know what it is. This is the Alcoholics Anonymous book, which has nothing to do with alcohol, by the way. This is one of the greatest lessons I've learned. Alcoholics Anonymous. Did you know how much we talk about alcohol and Alcoholics Anonymous? This much. Has nothing to do with alcohol. Nothing. Did you know they talk about 12 steps? How much they talk about drinking? How much do we drink? How much?
How much do you talk about it?
Yeah, how much?
None. Zero.
None. Here's the deal. This is why I struggled for so long. When I was introduced to AA, I was resentful because I was sent by the courts. See, the courts, when you get involved in an alcohol-related incident for whatever, it could be you had a fight, it could be a traffic, too many DUIs. They send you to, and so it's not that it's a bad thing, okay? But when you're forced to versus volunteer, there's a whole different attitude. So what I'm saying to you is alcohol, when you strip away the label of AA, it's all about love. It's about self-care. That's what it's about, okay? Really getting to know life on life's terms. And so here's one of the habits that I do that I picked up from this book. And I think you'll agree after I'm done, like how powerful this is and how this applies to everyone. And it has nothing to do with alcohol, zero. Ready for this? And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I'm disturbed, it's because I find some person, place, or thing or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity. Think about that. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, or thing as being exactly how they're supposed to be at this moment. I saw you.
Mara's like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah. So I'll read that again. And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, or thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept it. What did you take away from that, Umar?
Well, I took a lot of that away.
Right.
No, but seriously, what I take away from that is, first of all, being kind to ourselves, and getting present to what's happening, what's wrong, what needs to be changed, getting present to that awareness. If you're not aware of anything or what's going on, how can you change it?
Yeah.
So getting present to what's happening first, and then sitting in that for a while, shit, and then and then taking the change from there. Honestly,
yeah. Amen. No, that's great. That's great. And so really understanding, right, and accepting, because especially if you're type A label, type A personality, or all these labels that, whatever, they're just mental construct. They're just labels, right? And we know that when you label me, you negate me, right? That's been said throughout wisdom, that when we start putting labels, oh, you're so stupid. Oh, you're so smart. They're all the same thing. It doesn't matter. Smart or stupid, doesn't matter. It's a label. And what happens is they create these beliefs, they create these BS, this belief system in individuals. And if we're all subject to persuasion or suggestion, if you tell a kid or a child you're stupid long enough, they're going to believe they're stupid until someone else believes in them and they get to recognize that. It's happened to all of us. We all have stories. So, but acceptance, here's the key, right? That was one of the greatest secrets for me to really getting out of myself, especially if you are a person who feels like you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough for whatever life circumstances. For me, it was that I got left back in first grade. So I've overcompensated today. While I don't know anybody who reads more books than I do, I don't know anyone who knows more words than I do. Now, I'm not bragging. So I overcompensated. I got doctors who don't know more words than I do. That's a fact. And I'll come to that point in a minute. But I started to overcompensate because I got left back in first grade when I started, when they said, Emilio, could you read chapter 1? Well, what happened? Chapter 1, I was like, I got so embarrassed that it in my brain, in my subconscious, I started to feel inadequate, and everything about reading created anxiety. So I taught myself, I said, I'll never, ever be made to feel again. No one will ever ask me another word and I won't know. I mean, it's impossible to know every word, right? But let me tell you what happened. That's why today when people ask me words, they're like, they get stuck. Like, how did you know that? Because I practiced something. So anyway, I'm gonna get to that. But accepting that I am good enough, accepting that I am smart enough. You see, that to me was important. So let me get back to the word thing. So I started to teach myself how to read with the newspaper. And because what happened wasn't that I was slow, wasn't that I was stupid. I had believed that because my mom moved around a lot. So when we were just getting comfortable and I was learning the fundamentals, and you can read some of the comments here as they come. But what happened was we moved around so much that finally, when it came down to take tests, I didn't have the fundamentals. Okay. And here is, and I'm going to end this with the words. So I just made it a point to learn words. And even, I mean, I did this, and Danielle knows I pick books every day. I do 4 or 5 words a day. Stuff that most people don't even care about. Science stuff, astronomy. So I was reading a book, and I literally got a job because of my words. So I was doing a security job, and I had this word book, and the owner of the company, one of the largest companies in New Jersey, said, "Oh, so you know words." Now here's where the arrogance, kind of whatever you want to call it. I said, "There's not a word that you can ask me that I don't know." Who on your right mind would say something like that? Who? Tell me. So he goes, "Oh, really?" This wasn't scripted. He goes, "Onomatopoeia." Do you know what onomatopoeia means? I mean, you may or may not know, right?
No, no supergalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So he goes, onomatopoeia. I said, onomatopoeia is the literary term, which means blah, 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 blah. He was like, I didn't learn that till I was in college. I said, well, it sucks to be you. I went to Catholic school. And so it was a little bit of an exchange, but we both laughed because it wasn't about being arrogant, but it was just, that's my personality. So just to let you know, I'm sorry. That ended me up in a job later because he needed a supervisor, and he remembered that interaction with us. He was the owner of this place. And so for me, that moment created this moment when I was in first grade that I did not know how to read, created this overcompensation where now people say, because I still have my urban swagger and I still talk, but no one knows as much words as I know. And I'm not being arrogant, is because I'm confident today. Now I went from, I'm confident because I'm a communicator. And so I know that this helps me when I'm on stage and I'm dealing with the intellectual arrogance crowd, the people who speak all these words. I can break it down to people who may not understand that. So I don't see it now as overcompensation, right? But initially that's where it came from. Like I had to accept. So now that I went off on a rant, what are the comments?
Well, Ivy just shared her goals, very inspiring goals. She says, with my health goals, more consistent running, 2 marathons, and a tough mother, more consistent intermittent fasting, daily gratitude, meditation, etc., etc. She also says that when you label me, you negate me. Never heard that one before. Interesting. In a negative connotation, it's powerful and unfortunately detrimental. And she says, great story, Emilio. And you want to never feel less than because of words. And that is so inspiring, really, that story, that you took something that was your weakness and you practiced it, added on to it. And now you're sharing your gift, sharing it as a gift, right? Amen. That is so beautiful. Also, something that I got from what you read from the Alcoholic Anonymous is that it's, besides the self-acceptance, is also accepting the other person for who they are and putting yourself in their shoes, right? What would you say about that, Daniela?
Yeah, well, I always say, as far as how other people are, you know, I always look at people. You're a product of your environment, right? So I always give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, some people may be like, "Oh, she's a B word," or, "She's this, she's that." I'm like, "Yeah, but let me look at the situation." You kind of step back and say, "Okay, well, they grew up this way, or they didn't have, maybe the mother or the father or a good example, or whatever it is." So that's why we should, take a step back, look at the situation, accept people for who they are,
Yeah.
because there's always a story, right?
Mhm.
There's a reason why Emilio is the way he is. There's a reason why I am the way I am.
Mhm.
And you just have to accept people for how they are. Now, not saying, if they're really rude, disrespectful, they're really,
Mhm.
you don't accept that. But what I mean is, if someone is like, he's very high energy, he's very, passionate, whatever, that's not a bad thing. I'm talking about like good qualities, but a little extra, you know what I mean? But that's okay, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
You either accept people or you don't.
And
You
she
know?
is the B word. I'm just saying. She is
Bad
beautiful.
ass.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Oh, also,
So yes.
I would say, when you said that if someone is rude or bad, you don't accept that. I think a little differently there, and I might be wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Correct me if I am,
No.
but I feel like even if someone is rude, they're still in their story, and they still need to be heard and listened from their perspective.
Right.
And if someone does not resonate with your vibration, just turn around your direction, move the other way. You don't
Right.
have
Right.
to put a label on that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just
What
go
I
your way. Mm-hmm.
what I meant was not that we won't accept them if they're rude or whatever, something negative. You accept that, but what I mean is, you don't let, like you said, yeah, you don't let it, affect you, or let them be rude or disrespectful to you on a daily basis, and
Right.
take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if that's who you are, that's who you are. But I have the choice to walk away from that. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'm going to read some comments here.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, yes, getting present to what is happening to yourself when things are less than desirable is powerful. When you label me, I already read that one. And Lionel joined.
Yay, Lionel.
He's saying, so true. There is two sides of the story. Right. Correct.
True.
Yeah.
He's a really wise person, wise dude.
Yeah. He's gonna be with us this weekend.
Yeah.
So to ask, so today's Forgiveness Friday, right? Those of you who've been following us know that this is the one day that we highlight as kind of let that ish go. But truth be told, forgiveness in my life and as I shared with the clients and stuff, sometimes it's hour by hour, sometimes it's minute by minute. It really depends, depending on where our story is. So, for example, we entered a business dealing with someone, and we all do business dealings, right? And so this person, it just didn't feel right after I made it. So I backed out. I told him why. Just, this wasn't going to be a good fit. My personality, and I said, with my personality, we send the email that this wasn't going to work out, because I really feel my personality and theirs is going to clash. Just please refund my money back. Let's just keep it real simple, right? Well, back and forth, we, some people thought that maybe I was just overreacting, right? And anyway, we've come to find out, to the Reader's Digest, that this person is pretty much the way I thought he was. Now, to your point, doesn't mean that person's a bad person. That's his story, right? It's his story. So one of the things I do, especially we talk about gratitude, forgiveness, right, and service, is when I'm feeling strongly about someone, especially when we're talking about money and we're talking about these other things, we don't want to stay in that energy, because everything. This is my belief. There's nothing good or bad. It's just these things. It's just energy, and okay, so it's not good or bad. I don't care if it's life or death. There's no such thing, and I don't go into this in detail, but just know that everything is energy, right? And one of the practices that I find myself doing lately is what went right today? We talked about it last night. Ask yourself, what went right today? And then you go ahead and whatever comes up, it doesn't matter. Like, I ate the most healthiest breakfast I've eaten all year. I've had the best conversation with my wife we've had in a long time. Start focusing on that, right? And then I also take moral inventory. We go, and those of you in the space of recovery, you know what I'm talking about. Like, did I offend someone with my thoughts? Did I offend someone with my words? Did I offend someone with my deeds, my actions, right? And so when you can come from that place, you're able to unburden yourself and send love and light to this person. So this person that I just told you about, that I was feeling some kind of way, then I found out that they did something to a friend of mine that brought back feelings like, oh no, I can't. I'm about to go to that office tomorrow. And so if you know my personality, that's me. I'm that dude. So that's why I should, all that stuff that I be saying. But really, I deserve to stay grounded for my family, for my audience. But because of my history, I know that these things that we talk about, if I don't do this, I go back to my old ways. And my old ways, not bad or good, it's just my conditioned response to the way I was raised, right? I believe that I'm in some sort of fight or flight. And so I feel like I'm being attacked. My tribe is being attacked. I got to go protect them. See, there's no such thing as good or bad. It doesn't exist in the divine world, right? So taking the breath that we do, that brings us back to center. Focusing on the community that we're helping, sharing people, being honest, right? The way we are, transparent, not coming on Facebook Live and going, oh my God, Emilio and Danielle, they're the best marriage. Hell no. There's times when we come on and we're like, we say how we're feeling. And the last thing I'll say on this is that's the very reason I got on Facebook. And Daniela, when she met me, she saw me on Facebook. We had already known each other, but I'm about transparency. Okay. So I was sharing stuff that I've learned that I'm going through, and people resonate with it. So I'm not everyone's cup of tea, right? Because some people want somebody to come on here and be the poster child for spirituality. Please keep moving. I am not the poster child for spirituality. We're not. We can only give what we live. And we're just using this platform to help people, to say, oh, wow, so Emilio couldn't read. He couldn't read. And so he taught himself to read. Wow, well, I got like 3 freaking MBAs. You know, what's my excuse, right? I got all this education. Why can't I, do that? And so I just I felt compelled to share that with you because it's Forgiveness Friday. Please, whatever you're hanging on to, okay, it's a brand new decade, not just a year. Make amends. So I'm going to send an email out to this individual today, and it's going to be filled with love. It's going to be filled with light. And I'm going to, in my own way, express and say, you know what, whatever happened, happened. So I just wanted to say, if I've caused any stress in your life by pulling away from that agreement, I'm sorry. So it's just going to be filled with love and light. But you saw how that changed. I came on here like I'm ready to rip this guy something. Those things are not good because that's never worked out well for me. Any comments?
Well, the comments that I'm getting here are wonderful. She's saying out of AA, Ivy saying out of AA, which yes, is acceptance of people, not of their action with alcohol, because people who struggle with it understand the pain of it. But just understanding and having compassion in general is important. We are all going through something, and we all are wanting the same thing: love, acceptance, freedom, happiness, etc. And Lionel saying, I believe forgiveness starts with ourselves, loving ourselves, and that was share with others. Ivy's also saying, when I feel strongly about someone, I do my best to remove myself from the situation or from their presence. A smooth transition away, if you will. I agree with what you said. Usually, people get triggered by another person because of the presence of fear, and fear comes from the psychology of lack. In business, it usually comes because you think that the other person is taking advantage, so that's a lack mentality, or the other person is using me, that's a lack mentality, or the other person is taking away something from me, that's a lack mentality, right?
Perfect.
But the thing is, honestly, Emilio, you are going to attract people in your life who resonate with you for all that you are. Because when a person comes, especially on social media and live, and represent exactly how they are with all their flaws and all who they are, just quirky personality, whatever that is,
Right.
not putting up a mask of being someone else, then the people who resonate with that personality are going to get attracted by you. And the other person who's doing the same thing or whatever, they should not get offended, because you will never attract the people who got attracted to that first person, because you're not that person. Your personality is different. You're going to attract different vibrations, different souls, different people in your life. So it's not hanging on to, why did that person got more clients or more customers or more business than I did or more friends than I did. They were meant to be. And you are meant to attract someone who's going to vibrate with you. So that's what I believe.
Amen.
What do you
Amen.
think?
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
And we got about a few minutes, and we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Go ahead, baby. You have a comment on that?
Yeah, no, I agree totally what Amara just said. And, yeah, we have to accept people the way they are, and some people are, he's transparent, likes to share everything, and you know what I mean? Me, I'm more private, but I've become more like as far as personal things, I don't like to share everything, because you have to keep some things private, right? You don't just tell everything, right? Because that's just not right. But as far as me being real, like, what you see is what you get with me. What I say to you to your face is what I would say when you're not around. You know what I mean? So I don't play like two sides. So I'm real.
Is that real hair?
Yes, it is.
It's real hair. Okay, it's real hair.
It's
One
real.
last thing before we leave, I want you to tell a little bit about the retreat. What's your offering? What's happening?
Yeah, well, that's tomorrow and Sunday, January 9th and 10th. And it's only 4 hours. It's going to go real quick we expect people at 7:30, so we can start sharply at 8, and it's over at noon. And that's going to include my nutrition piece. I will be sharing, what I'm doing with my cooking and what I'm going to be offering now, which is live, virtual and in-person courses. We're going to, of course, do our spiritual journaling. We're sharing what we do with the Academy with forgiveness, gratitude, and of course, a little fitness.
Amen. Amen. No, thank you. Thank you for that. That's a great question for asking. So those of you who are going to be coming there, please be there by 7:30. If you want to get the breakfast that Daniela is putting together, 8 o'clock, we're going to stop it, because that's 8 o'clock is when we start. So
I'll
that
give
means
it to you virtually.
there you go. There you go. So again, as we're wrapping this up, we have 2 spots left for Saturday. Sunday is jam packed. In fact, Lionel, I believe he was on here. If he's still on here, he's coming. And so, guys, just reach out to us. These were all paid events that we ended up gifting people, because we know this is the time of year where people struggle the most, and they're struggling because they're being reflective, which is rightfully so. They're saying what worked, what didn't work in 2020. My God, if I don't do something different, my 2021 is going to look exactly how that looked. So again, if it was a great year, awesome. If you achieve your fitness and health goals, great. Go inspire others, right? Show them what you're doing, direct them, do whatever. That's what I would say. But if you are someone who is stuck and you're like, well, money's not an issue for you. You're blessed to still have your job, but your spirituality, you don't even know what the hell that means. Reach out to us. We're available. Okay. If we encourage people to reach out to you, Amara. So I want to take this time and honor you because of all that you do for us. People that are in Canada or even here in our circle, what is it that you offer, and how can people get a hold of you?
Well, I'm a mindset and fitness coach, and what I offer is coaching, one-on-one coaching. I offer programs. So I've seen people going on YouTube and following a certain program and then falling off it after a month or 3 months or sometimes even a week. And in that case, it usually comes like, okay, now we can't do it, and then it just falls off. And that comes from my personal story, because I had accidents and I was an athlete before that all my life, and I was like, I fell off the boat, no problem, I'm gonna get back on, no worries. But it doesn't happen that way. If you let go of one day, it turns to 2 days, and then 3 days, and 4 days, and in that space, and you will agree, Emilio, that all the professional bodybuilders, they never get a chiseled, shredded body on their own. There's a team of people working with them. And if same is with the goals, whether it's health or fitness goals, whether it's spiritual goals, you need someone to lift you up, and you create that team, that community of people, and you flourish in that, right? Because it's hard on your own. And so that's what I do. I provide a community on Facebook. I provide a lot of material, courses, workshops, books, and one-on-one coaching, and also customized workouts with tutorials and customized meal plans. But of course, it's a tiered system. If you don't want all of that and you feel that you already have some things, then we can start from the bottom and then build it up if needed. Yeah. So that's what I offer. I offer mindset and fitness coaching. Thank you.
That's awesome. How can folks get a hold of you?
Yeah.
Well, you can easily get hold of me on my email, which is Laromash, LAROMASH Academy @gmail.com, or you can just shoot me a message on the messenger, and I'll respond usually in 48 hours or sooner.
That's awesome. No, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. We're super excited. Any last comments before we close out?
I'm just gonna read 2 comments, one from Lionel or one for Ivy before we leave. And Lionel saying, and the trigger can also be from your surroundings, like music or social media, and sometimes we do not understand why the trigger happened. So we find a way out, point the fingers at the source that's directly in front of you. That's from the previous conversation. And Ivy saying, love that you said that you must do the daily gratitude, the forgiveness, the service, and pouring into others, because you. And if you don't do those things, you'll falter. The running for me helps me to not go into the dark spaces in my mind. I can easily fall into depression. Thankfully, the alcohol is out of my life. But with that too, the running and training helps me to know it's not in my best interest for my health, the best version of myself, and most especially my family. So these daily practices are uber important. And thank you guys for sharing your core pillars to the world.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Amen. Thank you, Umara, for reading those, and thank my wife publicly. She has really been instrumental. I love you. I thank you for all that she does behind the scenes. I honor her the other day. I say she's the secret sauce behind what we do, because while I have the vision and I bark out orders and it can be overwhelming for her, she knows that, it's like we all have a role to play, right? Absolutely. And so, but Daniela really, really brings it home all the time. So for this weekend, I want to thank you for all of it. We've got VIPs coming privately. They're coming from Florida. We've got people traveling a couple hours away. It's going to be a very small, intimate group, but it's going to be so much education and influencing and impact that they're going to have a ripple effect on everything that we're pouring out into the world. And thank you for Umara and Ivy and everyone in Lionel for sharing. And we're going to encourage you guys to stay committed, stay plugged into what we're doing. The best is yet to come.
Bye. Have a great morning. Have a great day.
God bless.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emilio Roman. I'm America's #1 spiritual fitness coach.
My name is Anilda Davila, and it's an honor for me to know Emilio Roman. I met Emilio through Austin Jane to be part of his co-author network project, Spiritual Fitness Survivor. And to me, it was like a divine connection.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ivy Perez, and I am a certified transformational life coach. Now, I believe in the power of vulnerability. And over the course of the past year, I've been sharing my journey, my story on social media. And Emilio Roman actually reached out to me because of doing that. and asked me to share my story. And becoming a part of the co-author network and becoming part of this book, the Spiritual Fitness Survivor book, not only has given me a platform to share my story, it has given me the ability to voice my journey, voice my story so that I can empower others to do the same.
Emilio has done a lot for me. This is actually the second book that I'm in, and it has been an amazing experience, all because of him. So the first one was a great experience, but when he approached me about doing a book with him, that was a no-brainer. Not only is he great at the publishing and doing the book, the support and tips that he gives you along the way are amazing. Even if you're not looking to do a book deal, if you're looking to grow your business, if you're looking to grow yourself and just be a better person, Emilio is definitely the guy that you want to follow.
Hi everybody, my name's Karen Drosnis, and I am a co-author in this magnificent book, Spiritual Fitness Survivor. I met Emilio Roman through a really good friend of mine, and immediately our energies connected. He is extraordinary at what he does, and trust me, you will never feel alone when you work with Emilio. I happen to agree with a good friend of mine, Bridget, who says, even if you would choose not to write in the book, Emilio is someone you must know. I had been planning for a long time to share my story with everyone and the world of overcoming traumas. And then the next thing I know, I just opened my hands up, and guess who jumped in them? Emilio Roman. Thank you so much, and please connect with Emilio. He is beyond amazing.